Hey everybody, Jessica here. My pronouns are she, her, and this class is going to be a super gentle and relaxing class. I designed this class to help with um, anxiety, depression, anytime you're feeling really anxious or wound up and just need a moment to just be, to embody yourself again and to really calm down a little bit. So we're going to be situated on the ground for this entire class, prone, so down on the belly, and seated. And then at the end of the class, we're going to end with, instead of a traditional shavasana, we're going to find legs up the wall, which is a great way to relax you really quickly. So if you don't have access to a wall to bring your legs up to a wall, you can bring your legs onto a chair, so lying on the back and just bring the feet onto the chair, or a bed or the side of a couch. There's so many different ways you can elevate the feet. You can even just stack a few pillows up if all of that other stuff isn't an option. So just bring your pillow and either a chair or some kind of a way to get up onto the wall, and I will see you on the mat. Hi everybody, so for this class today we're going to get started on a seat, in a seat. I am seated on a bolster here, so if you have a bolster or a pillow or something you can sit on to raise your hips off the ground so that you can get really comfortable, go ahead and grab that. And we'll start sitting up nice and tall, maybe closing the eyes or maybe just dropping the gaze down and softening the eyes if you'd rather do that. And just take some time to check in with yourself. Notice how you're feeling. And if you're feeling anxious or stressed or anything like that, maybe let's get a better understanding of where that's coming from. What is causing that feeling? Maybe it's one thing, maybe it's several things, maybe we don't know where it's coming from, but it's there. Just kind of acknowledging it and trying to understand it. And we're gonna take a few minutes to kind of move through that and maybe push some of that aside for a little bit so that we can breathe a little more freely in our bodies. So just taking a moment, checking in. And we're going to gradually start to deepen the breath here. So on the next inhale, try and pull that breath down a little further than it's already flowing naturally. And allow the body to really soften and expand with that breath. And sometimes it's helpful to bring the hands to the body just to feel that breath move through us. Have that awareness. Maybe finding that ujjayi breath, dragging the breath across the throat. Taking that first sip of the inhale to expand the belly, and then the last sip to kind of expand the chest or the heart center. And letting gravity move the breath out without forcefully exhaling or pushing. And maybe visualize that first layer of tension starting to slip off of your body, out of your muscles, out of your tissues. Maybe visualizing that anxiety as the color red. And as you inhale, that color rises through your body, through the breath. And on the exhale, it escapes. Just a few more breaths like this. Last breath here. Last round of breath. And sigh it out. Very good. Opening your eyes. Maybe stretching out the shoulders here. We're gonna make our way down to the prone position, so onto the belly, and we're gonna find crocodile pose. So taking your time, coming off of the prop. And making your way down nice and gently. All the way down to the belly. And with the toes uncurled, so just resting on the tops of the feet, open up the legs a little bit so there's a little bit of space there. And we're going to stack the forearms, push the elbows away from you, and then just rest the forehead down. Allowing the shoulder blades to kind of reach for the ground. And just give yourself space to just be here. Again, if you feel like your mind is racing and you're having a hard time being present in this practice, come back into that visualization of seeing that tension in your body as the color red. And if that's not working for you, if you're not big on visualization, maybe just focus on the sensation of the cooling breath coming in through your nostrils and the way it comes out, nice and warm. Relaxing the low back. Relaxing the tops of the thighs and the back of the neck. Allowing the eyes to rest softly. Maybe gently rolling the forehead from side to side on your forearm. And just letting your body spread out here. Really surrendering all of your limbs, your entire body down into the ground.
On the next inhale, bend your knees and bring the feet up to the ceiling. And maybe find some windshield wiper legs here, so just dropping the legs from side to side, nice and gently. And then we're going to prepare to come back up onto tabletop position, taking your time, pressing the hands down into the mat underneath the shoulders, and lifting up, coming onto the knees here. And taking the knees maybe 2 fist width distances apart. And we're going to move through a little variation of cat-cow. So for this variation, instead of stacking the wrists directly under the shoulders, let's walk them forward just a little bit. And on the inhale, we're going to dip the belly down and pop the tailbone up for cow pose. Take a big inhale. Maybe shift the weight forward a little bit. And exhale, press back through the hands and the hips back towards the heels for an extended child's pose. Reaching the forehead down, even if it doesn't touch the ground. Inhale, cow pose. Really expand the rib cage here. And exhale, press back nice and gently, withdrawing your senses. Head comes back down. Taking this at your own pace, shifting forward for the inhale. And exhale, pressing back. Find the articulation in your spine here. Let the breath be as heavy and as loud as you need it to be. Very good. Let's come back to center here. And we are going to grab our bolster. If you have blocks, that would work as well too. Just find whatever works best for you. And we're going to come down onto the forearms here on our props. So if you're using blocks, you might want them to be lengthwise here to support your forearms. And we're going to find kind of a variation of child's pose here. We're going to get into the shoulders a little bit and release the head down to the ground. So we're going to find the right position first. And we're just going to lean back, kind of bend the elbows, clasp the hands together here, and drop the head down. Maybe your hands point straight up. Maybe they rest behind the neck. Maybe your forehead comes down to the ground here. And let the elbows be heavy, let the armpits fall down. Coming into that calm space. Accepting all of the feelings, all of the emotions that are at the surface. Acknowledging them and giving them space to move freely out of you. couple more breaths here. On the next inhale, pressing into the elbows nice and carefully, lifting the head and the torso up. We're going to find our child's pose again here, and we're going to come into a supported version. So whatever prop you're using, we're going to bring it right between the knees. Take the knees wide here. And if you have a pillow or a bolster like me, see if you can kind of positioning it slightly between the legs here, between the knees, and we're going to lay the torso down on the prop here to find a supported version of child's pose. So taking your time, maybe resting on one side of the face here. And if you're resting on one side of the face, let's switch positions here. Finishing up this round of breath, and then we'll come back up off of our prop, coming to our knees here. And we're going to end our practice with legs up the wall instead of a traditional shavasana. So if you don't have access to a wall with enough space, you can use anything. You can use a chair and lay on your back and bring your legs up on, bend the knees and bring the legs up onto the chair, or a couch or a bed or a small table, whatever you have to elevate the legs. I have a wall here, so I will show you how I get myself into legs up the wall. So if you are on a wall, we're gonna have a seat, bringing the left or whatever side we're starting on, it doesn't really matter. Bringing the hips close to the wall with the legs parallel to the wall, just like this. And then I'm gonna lay back and swoop the legs up. So it can be a little tricky. Get your hips really close to the wall and then lay back and bring those legs right up the wall. You can bring a blanket or a pillow under your head if you'd like that support. You can even bring something under the hips if that would feel good to you. And let the arms fall out nice and wide, keeping those feet positioned up, allowing the eyes to rest here. If you have an eye cover, an eye pillow, you can incorporate that here as well. And we'll take a few moments to really just get into this posture and let gravity do its thing. Legs up the wall is an amazing tool to help activate that parasympathetic nervous system. It helps with lymphatic drainage. So it's great if you're on your feet all day, or if you sit. Basically, it's great if you're a human. No matter what we're doing, we're typically not in this position. So this gives our heart a break a little bit. It doesn't have to pump as hard to push blood all the way to our feet because our feet are elevated. And it's really good for lowering the blood pressure as well for that reason. So it's just overall beneficial. And as you rest here, if your legs become tired or you have a hard time holding them straight up, you can always bend the knees and scoot yourself away from the wall a little bit if you need to. You can get really creative here. The ultimate goal is to have the legs lifted up above the heart. So there are a lot of different ways to find that. And we'll soften the gaze or close the eyes here again and just come into the sensation of the body. And understanding that whatever you're feeling, whatever is gripping you tightly, is fluid. It can move out of your body just the same way it came in, with a little patience and intention. And most importantly, that feeling, whatever it may be, is not who you are. It does not define you. It is just a moment in time, and it will pass. Really allowing everything to settle. Noticing the sensations on the outside of the body, maybe the breath coming in cool and exhaling warm. Maybe the sensation of air on your fingertips or in your palms. The feeling of the back of your heels pressed against the wall. The sensation of your environment, the air on your soles of your feet and your toes. And understanding that your true nature, your heart center, is peaceful. That peace always resides in you, no matter what happens, no matter how you're feeling, what you're going through. That peace resides in you. Sometimes we have to dig to find it or think to remember it. I'd like you to maybe repeat silently or even aloud if you'd like to the following mantra. Peace is in my pulse. 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 And repeating the mantra until you feel the vibrational energy of that mantra resonating throughout your entire body, until you believe it. Now I invite you to stay here as long as you like. Ideally, we could spend 15 or 20 minutes with legs up the wall. If you would like to find your way out of this position, we'll come out in the same way that we came in, bending the knees and dropping both legs over to one side, and then pressing up and finding a comfortable seat. And this is the end of our practice together today. I hope that you feel a little bit lighter in your mind and a little more at ease. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through our class today. I'll see you on the mat.